Hey, drawittoo crew, Ramny here with a brand new vlog video for you guys, and this has been a long time coming. I know you guys have been asking for a tour of my office slash drawittoo studio, so I did the first one. I did this shelf in my previous video, and so this time I'm going to do this shelf right here, which is my big shelf. Anyway, if you guys are brand new here and are unfamiliar with what I do, my name is Ramny, like I mentioned, and I have a main channel where I do drawing tutorials of your favorite characters. So make sure to check that out as well. Hit that subscribe button. If you guys are not subscribed to this channel right here, make sure to hit the subscribe button on this channel as well. Here is where I do a lot of like talky vlogs and rant videos and all that stuff. So this is where I get to speak my mind, I guess you could say, and also do some room office tours. So anyway, I mentioned in the past that I was going to break down my action figure tour into 3 sections. The first section was this one right here, which was my MCU shelf. The second section were the blue shelves, and the third section is my X-Men shelf, which is this one over here. So this is part 2 of that tour, and yeah, having said all of that, you guys, let's get right to the tour. Alright, you guys, before I actually get to the blue shelf, I actually want to go back up to the MCU shelf and just mention that I made a whole bunch of changes and I added some new characters ever since the video was published last. And so some of the new characters are, right here you got the Star Force Captain Marvel there in the center, and then you've got the Captain Marvel and the SH Figure Arts Hulk back there. Those are some of the additions, as well as that Yon-Rogg up there. So just wanted to mention, and there's also Valkyrie. I also just got that one, and also the SH Figure Arts Black Widow, and I don't know if I added any more, but yeah, there you go. So now let's move on to these figures here, and I'm going to start off with the top shelf, and I'm going to start off over here. And as you guys can see, I've got my die-cast DC figures of Catwoman and Joker. These are made of metal. They're pretty heavy. I'm going to set them aside because they're just there, really. They don't really belong in any of these. Anyway, right in the back, actually, I do want to mention that this is my Stan Lee SDCC exclusive Stan Lee action figure that I keep in the box. And I don't usually keep things in boxes unless they are important to me. And that one, of course, is important. All the more important because Stan Lee passed away. Anyway, so here we have some Marvel Select and Marvel Universe figures. We've got the Thanos right there, Marvel Select. You've got the Hulkbuster Marvel Select, and then the Hulk Marvel Select. And then I've got the Giant Man and the clone, no, not clone, the Skrull Giant Man. I almost forgot. And then you got the Frost Giant right there. Yeah, this is going to be a fairly long video. I'm going to try my hardest not to go into too much detail, but yeah, I do expect this thing to be long. Anyway, I got a trash bin right there, which is a fitting for the scale, and one of my favorite figures from last year, the Silver Surfer. Here you've got some, actually they're knockoff Lego figures of a lot of these Marvel characters, and I just got these from like the toy stores. Yeah, as you guys can see, there's Thanos right there, and you got the Infinity Gauntlet right there in the back, and then a whole bunch of these characters. Now I don't collect these guys really, but these are some that I've accumulated, and I'm actually thinking of collecting some more. So yeah, and then here you got BB-8's head, which I actually use. I keep some money in there. But we're not about that, are we? And just a whole bunch of junk in there. All right, so now let's go to this shelf right here, this section. I keep my books and paper and all that stuff in here and references. But in front of them, I've got several figures. This is the Articulated Icons line, which is a Kickstarter project from the Fwoosh. And I backed their Kickstarter and got 6 of their figures. Okay, yeah, they're a couple of my favorite ones. I don't remember them exactly, like their names, but you got the Drunken Master, you've got a Shaolin Monk, and then you got like the red and the black ninjas right there. And one of the ninjas has a really cool mask. Yeah, anyway, let me crouch down a little bit. There you go. This is some of my Fantastic Four figures right here. And I do mention that I do have a Fantastic Four, like my main Fantastic Four figures are up there already, which I'll get to in the next video. But here I've got some of the like other side characters as well. And as you guys already noticed, I've got duplicates. So I've got, yeah, I've got like that Fantastic Four that was on that wall, and then I have these guys. And they're just different figures that Toy Biz and Hasbro put out. You got in the back over there, you got the flaming Super Skrull, then you got the normal Super Skrull, and then you got the thing from the Fantastic Four Classics line. And then you got 3 different versions of the Human Torch, one kind of flaming on, and one is supernova, and one is regular flame on. Invisible Woman, Doctor Doom. Yeah. Should I name all of them? I'll name the obscure ones. Mole Man is the guy in the green right there. Fairly old, obscure character now, but an older Hasbro figure. I mean, yeah, so I like to mix my Toy Biz and Hasbro figures. If I find that they're still pretty good, I'll add them in here. All right. Yeah, so let's back up now, and this is kind of what that looks like, and now let's go to the middle. And the middle is where I kind of put like a lot of my Spider-Man, along with other things. So let's go ahead. Now, I do want to mention before I get to this that I have more Spider-Man figures. My collection is actually divided into my collection here and my collection in Canada, and I just couldn't bring my collection from Canada here. It's just way too many figures, and it's just a lot to carry. So yeah, so I have them divided, but the ones that I have here in Thailand are these guys here. Different versions of Spider-Man. I recently just completed the Kingpin build, the figure where that guy is from and where that guy is from right here. So it's just a different version of the black suit. And you got the 6-armed Spider-Man, got the Miles Morales, and just a whole bunch of different Spider-Man. And there's still a whole bunch that I need to get. Spider UK, Spider Punk. I really want to get those guys. Even Spider Ham. Over on this side now, you've got like the different symbiote figures. This guy right here, I customized him myself. He's the Agent Venom, but in his red Thunderbolts costume. Really easy paint job there. It doesn't take very long. And this guy's fairly new as well. He's the Red Goblin. You got Carnage, Toxin. Over there is actually a really weird knockoff of Toxin that I purchased on online, but not officially made by Hasbro. And then you got a Marvel Select figure over there, an Anti-Venom. Just wasn't a fan of the Marvel Legends Venom. You got the Venom Space Knight back there. And yeah, so that's that, you guys. I've got like different versions of the same Venom. There's that guy over there, and then you got this guy, which is essentially the same guy. Marvel Select one, I think I prefer a lot better though. So there's that. And then going down, here you got like the different Punishers that I have. Not that I'm a huge fan of the Punisher, but I just think that black and white costume with a skull is just so awesome. So I collected the Punisher figures. And this one right here is one that I made myself again. Where I mean, what I did was I essentially just kit bashed this Punisher in the front. I painted the skull red, which is the Thunderbolts. And then I took Drax's legs. So that's the movie Drax. And then I just put it on this Punisher. So that's how I ended up with this guy right here. So it's just a repaint of this Punisher, which is, I think, the best Punisher action figure that has ever been created. I really love this figure. And then right there you've got Jigsaw, who's way too short. He needs to be taller. And then you got different kinds of Punisher. There's that movie Punisher there with Tom Jane. The only Punisher that I don't have on here is actually the John Bernthal Netflix Punisher, because I keep that one up there. This guy, I'm talking about this guy. I keep him in the MCU shelf right there in that Netflix box in that section there. Anyway, so there's all those Punishers right there. And then beside that, you got a whole bunch of Spider-Man villains. Kind of just a general assortment here. You've got the Ultimate Green Goblin, you got Rhino in the back, and then you got you've got the Demo Goblin, the Hobgoblin, and the Green Goblin back there. And then you got the Kingpin Build-A-Figure, which I just recently got. And then these guys are technically not like villains, like the Puma and Silver Sable. Not really a villain, but I thought I'd just add them there. And then you got Black Cat, Electro. Yeah, pretty menacing. A whole bunch of people missing there, like the Vulture and all that stuff. Yeah, Scorpion is another one. Oh, sorry, you guys. This is way too low for me to sustain, so I'm actually sitting down on the floor now. Here you got a whole bunch of different Hulks. And yeah, not just Bruce Banner Hulk, but a whole bunch of other ones. In the back there you got the first appearance Hulk, but the green variant of it. And then you got the Red Hulk. And then beside the Red Hulk is Scar, son of Hulk. And then you got the Red She-Hulk. You got the Hulk from the Face Off, Hulkling, She-Hulk again, the green version this time. And then these two guys, which are these two characters right here. You got the Gray Hulk, Savage Gray Hulk, and then you've got the Hulk from the end, the end storyline. These two are some of the coolest like detailed sculpts from the early Hasbro Marvel Legends days, and no one really talks about them too much, but I really love these figures. They're just a tad too short, but look at that sculpt on those things. Like, they're amazing, especially this guy right here. Super sculpted, and I'm just so impressed by it. Anyway, that's my Hulk line. And then let's go to this last little square over here. You got more Spider-Man villains. This is where I keep all the Beetles. You got the big buzzing beetle in the back, and then you got the male beetle there, and then you got the female beetle, which is the daughter of that beetle. And then you got the ultimate beetle right there. You got the SDCC exclusive Sandman from the Raft box set right there. And then a couple of old figures right here. Lizard, Tarantula, Constrictor. You got the Chameleon and Tombstone, some classic villains there. So there's that as well. Now moving on to this one. This is kind of like my Avengers, my two Avengers villains, and then you got Mortal Kombat, and then you got the Ninja Turtles right there. So let's dive right in. There's a lot of characters in here. Of course, we got Captain America and Iron Man in the front, as well as Black Widow. You got one tiny Ant-Man, one tiny Wasp right there. There's a custom War Machine right there, and I bought that from a guy on Instagram. Yeah, he customized an Iron Man, painted it black and gray, and you got War Machine, neoclassic. You got Goliath back there, which is back in the day, like Toy Biz was kind of experimenting with articulation, and that guy's just not as articulate as any of these modern figures, Marvel Legends figures. But Toy Biz, I think they reused this from a previous line, so that Goliath in the back there just isn't as articulate. You got Vision, that's my favorite Vision right there. Nick Fury, Hawkeye, Wasp and Ant-Man again from the vintage line. You got that Thor. Now the story with that Thor right there, I kind of gave up on Hasbro. I've been collecting, like I was collecting Toy Biz figures for a while, and then when Hasbro bought the line, just wasn't impressed with their toys, so I quit like collecting Marvel Legends. And then they came out with that Thor right there, and then I just had to have that Thor because I just love that Olivier Coipel version of Thor, and yeah, I just had to have it. And then when I got that one, I had to build a figure, which I think was the Terak, so I built it. Anyway, so that Thor right there is the one that I credit to bringing me back to collecting. So those are some of the major like players of Avengers, and then over here we got like secondary Avengers. They're Avengers, but not the ones that you think of first, I guess you could say. First of all, you got Mandroid in the back, Doc Samson, Luke Cage, and then you got Thor, Jane Foster Thor, Goliath right there. You got the Defenders, the TV show Defenders. You got Iron Fist, Daredevil, yeah, Luke Cage, and Jessica Jones, Jewel, with the purple hair over there. So that's the TV defenders. You got the Sam Wilson, Captain America over here. You got She-Hulk again, Maria Hill in the back, and you got Moon Knight. That Moon Knight is a really amazing figure, by the way, just underrated. Oh yeah, and then more Ant-Man and Wasp. All right, so going back down here now. Here, I've got my army building, kind of. So I'm gonna start off with Crossbones back there. And yeah, so this is AIM and Hydra, I like to think of, and also Ultron. So there's that Ultron right there, which is a Marvel Select figure. It's a little bit bigger, but like Ultron is one of those robots that can be any size. And then I've got like several AIM and Hydra soldiers right there. So these are my army building. I got the older Hydra and then another Hydra over there. And then I got that Ultron and that Ultron as well. And then I got Crimson Dynamo and Titanium Man, just thought I'd put them in there. And then you've got the leaders of Hydra. You've got Arnim Zola, Red Skull, Baron Zemo, and the lady over there is Madame Hydra. So those are my army builders slash Hydra slash AIM. And then on this side I got some more Avengers villains. You've got, it's hard to see, I apologize for the lighting. You got the Ironmonger, which is an Iron Man villain. You got Thanos, of course, Ares, Radioactive Man, I always forget his name, Ex Nihilo, Enchantress, and then a bunch of Skrulls. Here's the Marvel Select Skrull, which, you know, I've only been able to find one of these guys. I want to army build him. You got the Elektra Skull back there. You got the Chased Ninja and then the Hand Ninja, the red and the white. And then you got Kang in front. You got Dread Knight back there as well. So there's more Avengers villains right there. And then going down to these non-Avengers toys, you've got the almost complete set. I've got like 2 more figures missing, but this is the almost complete set of the Mortal Kombat X toys by Mezco. And yeah, I've got all of the variants. Well, I've got all the variants of Scorpion. I'm missing one more variant of Raiden, missing one more variant of Sub-Zero, and I didn't bother collecting the variants of Kitana and Kotal Khan and Quan Chi over there. But anyway, I would. But yeah, I've got all 6 figures. I just have to get the variants of them. But yeah, this line right here, by the way, this is a glow-in-the-dark Raiden. Super cool. This line right here, I kind of am sad that it left. Like, I don't know why Mezco didn't continue with it, because they were doing such a good job. I'm just so proud of owning these characters. Like, I've loved these characters ever since the first Mortal Kombat game. Kotal Khan, fairly new character. But yeah, these characters are just my childhood. And speaking of childhood, let's go to the last thing, which is these guys. This one right here, these 4 are Playmates TV show figures. So they're like the TV show, they are the turtles from the TV show, right? And then you've got these guys right here, which is actually surprisingly a bootleg of the NECA, the first appearance of the Ninja Turtles, the comic Ninja Turtles. But the thing is, somebody took those, because they all had the red mask, somebody took them and painted them the colors of the TV show. And yeah, I bought it. And I don't regret the purchase, because these are some of the coolest turtle figures right there. So there's that. Yeah, childhood right there, you guys. Pretty much all of these is childhood. And there's, sorry, I'm getting up now. But yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. Sorry, I can't really zoom out with this camera here. So there's most of them right there. I do want to mention that I don't have all of my action figures displayed. I do have a whole bunch of action figures, like I mentioned, in these right here. So I've got all of these. I just don't have room to display them all, so they're being stored right now. Anyway, you guys, that is it. I should have stretched before I did this video, because when I got down to the floor and then when I got back up, I was just like wobbly and my bones were cracking and all that stuff. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that tour of my blue shelves. I'll give you guys a little bit of a history on how I started collecting. I started collecting action figures back in 2004 when I saw Deadpool and Cable on the shelves at Walmart. And at the time, yeah, no one else was collecting these figures. So anytime that a set of Marvel Legends would be put out, I was like the only one buying it, and it was amazing. And that happened for a while. So I ended up collecting almost all of the figures from Toy Biz. I completed all of the Build-A-Figures from Toy Biz by purchasing the figures individually, you know what I mean? I didn't buy them whole. I didn't buy the Build-A-Figure whole. I bought the figures to build the Build-A-Figures. So anyway, that's one of the things I guess I'm proud about as a collector. Yeah, I've been collecting for a long time, you guys, and who knows how long or how much I've spent on these things. Don't tell my wife. Anyway, if you guys want to check out my collection, I actually took a picture and I have them archived and I have them documented in Snaps. And you can check out my collection in the link down below. I have a picture of pretty much all of these figures that you see behind me, including the ones that I took of the figures that I have in Canada. You can check all that out, my collection, in the link below. Snaps is the app. You guys, I definitely recommend checking out that app. By the way, if you guys have a collection and you guys want to document it and you kind of want to organize it, Snaps is the best app for that. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much. Next video, I guess, or next Marvel Legends video is going to be that shelf right there, which is my X-Men shelf. I'll catch you guys in the next vlog video. Again, be sure to subscribe and make sure to hit that like button. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section as well. And that's all that. Take care, you guys. Bye.